states regardless of tribe. Minister of FCT Nyeso Wike says the infrastructural works going in both satellite towns and cities center of FCT is part of our employment program of Mr. President to the FCT residents. The minister, who analyzed ways of job creation by the government during his visit to the live camp site in Abuja, said employment must not be only when citizens are working in the office, but any job that brings food to the table for survival.
Creation of employment is one of the priority areas of this Tinubu's administration. The renewable agenda, creation of employment is a top priority. And employment is not necessarily where you are employed by government. They are used to find a place to work for their own living. Look at the number of youths, like you said, you find them. Look at all the roads that are run. Look at the number of people that are employed. So I feel at least we have been able to engage youths. Nothing can make you more comfortable when you see their youths are engaged. You can imagine when these jobs are not there, what the number of youths might be doing right now. So one is very, very happy that we are creating an opportunity that are giving employment to our youths. For the past 3 days, you will imagine that we did the satellite house, and you can see the quality of job that's going on here. Today, we're in the city, and also that the same thing we're giving that to the city, in the same quality we're giving that to the satellite town. By the time all those roads are completed, you will imagine what the city will look like. Then we are here, and you can also see that the contractors on site. Look at those, the judges' quarters. You feel happy. And one can tell you that nothing makes us happy that people are happy that we are living the dividends of democracy.
Responding to the question of how he does feel about criticism surrounding the building of judges' quarters in Abuja, Wike said criticism cannot stop him from doing his work. Hence, he has the backing of Mr. President and people who appreciate his works.
Those who are criticizing, I don't think of that. I am not bothered. But once you have the presidential approval to go ahead and buy the backing of the National Assembly, what's my business about those who are criticizing? These are people who, even when you give them the opportunity, they cannot do anything. So forget about those criticisms. If you have not done it, they will say are the ones that will complain that the environment in which our judges and justices are working is not conducive. Now you have tried to provide an environment that will make them well. They will say, oh, it's another reason. So you don't bother yourself and move on and do your work. So I'm not bothered about the so-called criticism. It does not exist where I am. Certainly in government, when people appreciate, it means that indeed you are touching their lives. And when you see such reaction, it makes you work harder. Because what is the essence of governance? Is for you to see how people can be impacted positively, how you can change their life. And you see when people appreciate that, of course it tries to encourage you to do more. And that's what every leadership, what leadership is all about. Anywhere we go to, see how happy they are. It means the appreciation of government is doing something. And then you who is supervising, you're also happy that people acknowledge that something is going on.
Also speaking of management of funds and utilization of the enormous infrastructural projects in the FCT, he stressed that the commitment of the team and accurate management of funds has always helped in coming up with projects that will be completed.
It depends, with the team you are working with. For me, I have always said, we will look for funds. Prudent management of fund is key. And when we don't have the fund, we don't need to have world contract. It doesn't matter the pressure that may come. Like I said, you can't solve all the problems at the same time. Identify the ones you can carry on and finish. Not to just have awarded 20 contracts. At the end of the day, how many have you finished? One. And people begin to criticize you. So even if it's only one you have awarded, and say, look, I've awarded this, and I must make sure this contract is completed. So for us, it's commitment. You see that the president has given us all the necessary support, and we all know we don't have any excuses at all to say this is why this cannot be done. We have a good team who is committed, and then with the management of our resources, we're able to carry out these projects simultaneously.
Leadership of the Academic Staff Union of Universities at Taraba State University has called on the state government to urgently address the welfare of its members following the death of 3 lecturers. The union, which alleged that the 3 lecturers died within 48 hours, said the deaths were due to long-standing neglect of unresolved grievances. SU Chairman Dr. Mbave Joshua Gaba made the appeal in a statement shared on his Facebook account. He expressed deep concern over the loss of the 3 lecturers, whom he identified as Professor Oborido Samuel, Dr. Kilobas Shah, and Malam Ibrahim Saleh Bali. Their untimely deaths, he claimed, were tied to poor welfare conditions, including unpaid earned academic allowances, unresolved salary backlogs, and the absence of a functional pension scheme. Describing the deceased lecturers as not only professionals but also pillars of their families and mentors to many, he decried their conditions under which they had to work, which he said contributed to their deaths. He added that their sacrifices must not go unnoticed. The SU chairman urged the state government to immediately resolve the welfare issues affecting university staffs to prevent further tragedies. Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State has presented a budget estimate of about 471.1 billion naira to the State House of Assembly for the 2024 fiscal year. Mutfwang, while presenting the budget to the lawmakers, said the sum of 201.5 billion naira is for recurrent expenditure, representing 43.46% of the total budget size. The capital budget estimate is 258.8 billion naira, representing 56.54% of the total budget. The NTEF-LFSP provides a 3-year fiscal plan and serves as a foundation for preparing the 2025 budget. It outlines the macroeconomics and fiscal framework for 2025 to 2027. This document compiles with Section 60, subsection 1 and Section 2 of the Plateau State's Fiscal Responsibility Law of 2014. It ensures that resources are allocated efficiently to priority areas as a deliberate step towards promoting transparency and accountability in line with global best practices. Sokoto State Governor Ahmed Aliyu Sokoto has approved the sum of 200,000 naira as a maintenance allowance of principals of each secondary school across the state. The governor made the declaration during the Sokoto State 2025 Citizens Budget discussion held at the Sultan Abubakar Makoto Institute of Quranic and General Studies. In his remarks, the former deputy governor of the state, Chiso Abdullahi, appealed to the governor to approve a certain amount of money for school principal to cover the immediate maintenance needs of the school. Abdullahi explained that the money would assist the principals in preparing minor damages to infrastructure or other items without having to wait for long approval or processes from the government. He added that the funds would enable schools to mobilize carpenters, masons, and other workers to carry out necessary repairs whenever needed. Reacting on behalf of the governor, the chief of press, Abubakar Bawa, confirmed that the governor had approved the sum of 200,000 naira per schools across the 23 local government areas each month. Bawa further stated that the payments would begin in January 2025. Meanwhile, the governor has also directed the State Commissioner for Local Government Affairs, Dadi Adere, to urgently review the allowances of traditional rulers in the state and make proper adjustments in line with the current economic situation. This follows a request by the district head of Kilgore, Mohammed Jabi Kilgore, who represented the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar, during the discussion, and appealed to the governor for improved allowances to reflect the current economic realities. Operations of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps at the Yankaba Eastern Bypass roundabout in Kano have arrested a suspected Jumaza Mox vandal. Public Relations Officer of the NCDC Kano State Command, Ibrahim Abdullahi, confirmed the arrest in a statement. He said the suspect, Mutala Aliyu Mood, a 34-year-old resident of Dawakin Dakata quarters in Nasarawa local government area, Kano, was apprehended late at night after gaining entry into the Dakata Ja'amua mosque through its window. It was also noted that the same suspect had recently been accused of 300,000 naira from the mosque, an allegation he confessed to. Similarly, another suspected vandal, 19-year-old Musbahu Sani from Damau Nawa, quarters in Daruni local government area, was also apprehended. According to Abdullahi, Sani was arrested in possession of large armored cables believed to have been stolen during a vandalism incident. He said upon interrogation, the suspects admitted to removing wires from an electricity installment, which is a transformer, at Damaawa quarters. He added that following the investigation, both suspects would be charged to court for appropriate prosecution. Troops of Sector 3 operating under the Multinational Joint Task Force and Operation Hadika have thwarted a terrorist attack by Islamic State West African province terrorists in Kukawa, Borno State. This was disclosed by Zakazola Makama, a Lake Chad Basin counter-terrorism and insurgency expert, in a post on his X handle. According to the report, the attack occurred in the early hours of Monday, with ISWAP fighters advancing from different flanks on motorcycles. Makama stated that he was informed by intelligence sources that the insurgents launched the attack with an SVBIED leading their assault team. He further noted that the swift and strategic response of soldiers from 101 Special Forces Battalion neutralized the immediate threats, triggering an intense gun battle. President Bola Tinubu has called on the legislature to prioritize increased funding and reforms for the nation's space program. Tinubu made this call when he declared open the 25th anniversary of the National Space Research and Development Agency at the State House Conference Center, Abuja. He emphasized the role of a well-funded and empowered space sector in driving Nigeria's development and ensuring sub-Saharan Africa were not considered to have a major role to play. As president and chairman of the Space Council, the Nigerian leader said he would continue to support the space program to accelerate its technological and innovation development. We'll go on a quick short break, and when we return, we'll take the rest of the story. Do stay with us. back and thank you for joining us. On his part, the Director General of NASA, RADA, Dr. Matthew Adepoju, said the Silver Jubilee milestone is a call to more responsibility. Therefore, he enumerated the agency's 3-point agenda for global competitiveness. Meanwhile, the Managing Director of the Nigerian Communications Satellite, Nkechi Egotun Idehe, called for sustained investments, robust policy support, and deeper collaborations among sister agencies. As Nigeria joined the rest of the world in a global campaign to end all forms of violence against women and girls, the Speaker Abbas of the House of Representatives Tajuddin violence as the House of Representatives